Hey team, a very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. My name is Fabio and today is a massive day because the private trade group is going to go live. I'm going to be sharing a link in the description of this video or in the comment section of this video, so make sure to check it out. You can send me a message. I'll be there personally responding to messages, and from there you will receive a link and some instructions how you can then join the private group, where I'll be sharing swing setups on, for example, the dollar pairs together with my team of traders who all trade the fractal structure. Now, without further ado, EURUSD has currently been stalling a bit today after yesterday, another bullish day in towards the upside. Currently, EURUSD is at an area of interest. Now, personally, I'm waiting for the overall bump in the road here to get taken out. As you can see, I have an alert set on this overall high, and from there, I will be looking for a potential short position. Overall, the momentum is still extremely high with demand still in control. As we can see, this is currently the imbalance that is in control, and we have some beautiful order flow in towards the upside with a clear internal uptrend. Now, I'm not going to try and fight this internal uptrend. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for market structure to shift. Once liquidity above this high here gets taken out, that is when I would be happy to look for a potential short in towards the downside. EURUSD in itself is currently in a impulsive and bullish phase. We're probably going to see a strong weekly candle close. We are obviously inside of this weekly imbalance here, which is acting as an area of supply, but on the daily, preferably within this overall, let's say, impulse that we have in towards the downside, I always like to take out liquidity, and liquidity lies ultimately above this high over here. So I'm happy to then look for a short position once that internal high there gets taken out. That is currently the only short position on the EURUSD that I'm waiting for. Let's say EURUSD does start crashing in towards the downside. I'll probably only be looking for shorts once we break this low over here, as this is part of the overall order flow, but I preferably always just want to see a real sell before buy up. This is also a sell down before buy up, but more kind of like an imbalance, and often you'll see that these are just liquidity lows on the lower time frame that get liquidated to potentially fuel another move up. So I would preferably wait for EURUSD then to break really like the weekly open as well, then retest, and then, for example, go short. So still waiting for kind of like this short to play out, or for the highs to get taken, and then I'll get into a short with my stop loss above the overall highs. Moving on into the dollar has been and has found some support within its area of demand and the 0.5 fib. Looking here at the daily time frame, we can obviously see that we've retraced into the overall sell before the buy here that we have, and into the 0.5 fib, which we're currently rejecting of the overall, let's say, impulsive phase in towards the highs. Now, what has happened is that we found some form of support within this overall sell down before the buy up. Initial buyers have been liquidated with this strong downside push. So let's see, can the dollar now indeed continue to push up higher? We are waiting for the 4-hour fractal structure to shift. This would mean that this high here, the black line, would need to break, and once that black line would break, then the retest, and then we could look for a long position. This would align nicely with the one low, the second low, and then the third low, so the overall descending price action to then fuel the next leg up here on the dollar index in towards the upside, after seeing a beautiful 0.5 fib retracement into demand, liquidating obviously here a low, and then getting the bullish confirmation to then fuel the next leg up higher, in line with what has been a very, very clear uptrend here on the dollar index. Now, if we just simply retrace back up to, for example, this supply zone, and take out, let's say, this internal high over here, which on the, for example, 1-hour time frame is a bump in the road, that is also perfectly possible then to cause the next push in towards the downside, right? Because if we look at here on the dollar index on the 1-hour time frame, and I hope my chart is clear enough for you guys, this here is the overall impulse down. Within the impulse down, we have liquidity high here, we have liquidity high here. So these highs can just facilitate the next push down, right? So really be safe with the dollar index. Don't get your highs up too much. Really wait for a strong breakout, then for the retest, and then we can go along on the bullish confirmation again, okay? So it's perfectly fine, and it's perfectly normal that the dollar index is now pushing up higher, because that is part of the overall downtrend, right? So don't think now suddenly, the dollar is super, super bullish. Yes, we're seeing a nice impulse in towards the highs, but this is very, very normal, because ultimately this is the overall swing down, and we're just retracing back up to the 0.5 fib and to the internal liquidity high. And then from there, we could see another drop in towards the downside. So let's wait for the 4-hour time frame to really give us the confirmation that we require in order to look for those dollar longs, and that's when I'm going to aggressively scale into some good dollar positions. Now, moving on from the dollar index into GBPUSD, GU had a strong impulse in towards the highs yesterday after the dollar turnaround. The dollar index, or excuse me, the GBPUSD is still not really of interest for myself. I would mainly wait for this low just to go again and then maybe look for some shorts again. That would mean that daily fractal structure has then shifted bearish again, which is slightly more confirmation. We've seen a one break up, second break up, and now maybe if we break the fractal low on the daily again, retest the monthly open, this could finally be the short that we're looking for, with the early sellers kind of like getting liquidated there. But that would mean that we're waiting for the dollar index also to align. So I want to see that dollar index alignment as well before getting into those short positions. But just keep in mind that that is a possibility. But obviously from here, right, demand is still in control. So this could just, yeah, again, push the market up higher. But if that scenario does happen, because I'm not interested in looking for buys because the pound is still very weak, but if that does happen, that we do break the daily fractal low, then I'll be happy to get into a short position potentially, yeah. So that's GU. AUDUSD has been pushing back down again. The Australian dollar has lost some strength. Not sure why. Still have to do my reading and find out what went on. Overall, again, AUDUSD is not one of my favorite pairs due to the dollar index not aligning. So often I just kind of skip these pairs. Yes, swing low, swing high, internal liquidity got taken, demand here in control. So it's perfectly fine just to, yeah, retrace a little bit more. For example, take out this as the internal liquidity, right? Because we have quite some lows here. So let's say this is your overall impulse up, then this here is the overall bump in the road / liquidity lows, which you want to see get taken out, and then from there you could see another bounce up. If you are looking for shorts on the dollar and you are looking for longs on AUDUSD, that could be a setup that you can keep your eyes on. Going into NZDUSD, NZDUSD had pushed up higher yesterday following the overall order flow that we talked about. Still waiting for higher prices ultimately on NZDUSD. Yeah, looking at where it's now retraced into, obviously it's retraced into the overall buy before the sell, right? So if we look at order flow and the very simple concept of it, we have an overall buy up before a very strong sell down, meaning that this is your overall supply zone. We've tapped into that and now you're seeing a reaction. So obviously from here, you don't really want to be scaling into new buy positions. No, what you want to be waiting for is for the overall order flow to shift, and then we can look for some more shorts towards the yearly open next week, or we wait for another drive up from here towards the monthly open, and then we look for shorts next week again, back down towards the yearly open. Those are kind of like the setups that I have, so just patience there on NZDUSD for now. Then moving on into USDCAD, guys. USDCAD is pushing up higher. Overall, finally in some good profit again. On this position, you guys know that I'm in a USDCAD buy. This thing has been pushing up higher overall from where? From the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement and from the monthly open. Monthly open naturally in a good area of support and resistance. So what I decided to do was obviously on Monday already take the initial entry, which I also shared inside Discord and here on the market outlook with a wide stop loss. And then yesterday what happened? Markets were squeezing in towards the downside. Again, liquidated this final low, came in towards this mini area of demand / imbalance, and then provided us with what? It provided us with the 4-hour change of character on top of the monthly open. So took a small buy over there, running around 1% profit at the moment. So a great position overall that could have been taken as well. Do keep in mind that this is a very risky setup in the sense that it can still come back lower to, for example, take out this low, right? So these lows over here. And even make a connection with the overall demand zone or tap the free monthly open, right? So I'm looking for buys still. I'm more buys on USDCAD. If it retraces back down, still looking for buys. Ultimately, dollar CAD will fly if the dollar index gives us that confirmation. No financial advice, of course, but yeah, I am in buys and it is looking good so far. So let's see if we can get a strong end of the week push in towards next week there on the dollar. Dollar CAD has been holding extremely strong and it's just waiting for the dollar to kind of like, yeah, continue pushing up higher because the dollar has been retracing all week. But as you can see, dollar CAD has remained very strong. So yeah, looking for this initial position plus a skill in to start pushing up higher, and yeah, we'll be able to pass some more funding yeah, with this position once again. Dollar Swiss, guys, dollar Swiss just been falling. Obviously, dollar Swiss has not been my favorite pair overall, despite it, yes, indeed, being in the over impulsive phase. So where was the money made? Guys, NZDCHF has created a new lower low. I've shared this position so many times with you, both on the stream and I even think in this market outlook here. Same goes for CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss obviously tanking. Talked about this as well last week. I mean, yeah, a lot of value again shared here on the streams. But dollar Swiss, what can I say? It's not really a favorite pair of mine. I'm more focused on dollar CAD at the moment, just because I still see that the dollar is in an uptrend. So I don't really want to be counter trend trading that. But yes, dollar Swiss is in the impulsive phase. Now with the break of the daily fractal low on the retest, you could look for another short position. USDJPY, also still bullish on that because I'm bearish on the yen pretty much always. Obviously, this is also in a very clear uptrend. Now we've had a quite a small impulsive phase. We've come back down into this demand zone, which aligns with the monthly open, and I'm kind of keeping an eye open here to what's going to happen. I would preferably want to see another drop in towards the downside, more towards the monthly open itself, or take out this low here, and then from the weekly open then start pushing up higher. I'll be monitoring this and what happens here. Let's keep an eye on it. For now, the 1 hour fractal structure still remains in control here with the supply. So I would prefer another drop down, but if it does break this high, then we should look for another continuation up higher, although the range is very, very small on USDJPY. 155 is a key level for dollar yen, but the entire market knows that, so I'm not too focused on it myself. I think we're still going to push up higher very, very soon to take out all the early sellers. And then, of course, guys, what we have last of all, gold. Gold is still bullish, liquidated in internal low here, made a connection with demand. I am looking for more and more buys on gold still and expecting further upside. As simple as that. Pretty much that. So looking for more buys on gold. Can still obviously drop down a little bit lower, but I am looking for upside continuation on gold only. So let's see what happens. This demand zone has the potential now to push up higher. If it liquidates this low and, for example, does push down lower, just wait for another 4 hour change of character, 1 hour change of character, and then just look for buys again. That is what I'll personally be doing. So thanks a lot. Been talking about a bullish dollar or a bullish gold a lot. So yeah, you can see it playing out. And let's continue to get some good positions. Make sure to check out the link in the comment section down below. And thanks for watching, guys. Wish you all a fantastic trade day. Let's have a good weekend. And next week, everything starts. Thanks.